I grew up in San Bernardino, born and raised on the west side. When I was 6 years old, my mother gave full custody of me to my grandmother so I could have some stability in my life. My mother was a single mom, and my father was incarcerated throughout my childhood. The area I grew up in was not the safest and was heavily populated with gangs. While growing up, I stayed active in sports to stay busy and out of trouble. And in 2006, I graduated from the Royal Valley High School. In 2009, while preparing for my first law enforcement physical agility test, I joined a mixed martial arts gym to get in better shape. Shortly after joining the gym, I was able to pass my physical agility test, but I was notified by the agency that I was not selected during the background process. With my love for competition, I began competing in MMA and coaching kids at the gym. In 2012, while still competing in MMA, my first son was born. When I was training for my fights, I would bring my son to the gym with me every day because I didn't have a babysitter. I noticed him mimicking me, doing everything I did, and because of that, he developed a love for boxing. In 2016, I was finally hired by the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department and started working on my dream of being a law enforcement officer. My son patiently waited until he turned 8 so he could compete in boxing. On March 5th, 2020, my son celebrated his 8th birthday, and by March 13th, the country was on lockdown due to COVID-19. That entire year was a challenge because my son was stuck at home and not able to train at a gym or compete. I would squeeze him in some days when I could and do workouts in our backyard or at home. 2020 was difficult for everyone, but mostly for our youth, with online schooling and not being able to participate in recreational activities. I decided to start my own boxing program and get my son ready to compete again, but I wanted to extend my knowledge to other children as well.
My son's been working with art since he began this program, but I've been, asking him, because I've been seeing him do it with his son at first, and I've been asking him like, hey, can you coach my son? Can you coach my son? Because I need my son in more activities to get, occupy his mind. Him being a cop, it makes me feel protected, and I know my son is in good hands, but also it really makes me feel like, everyone is not a bad cop. So for him to do this, it's really expressing the love that he has for everybody. I know Isaac sees him as a coach. So he really doesn't see him as a cop. He sees him as Coach Art.
Being from San Bernardino, I wanted to give my hometown something back. Growing up in San Bernardino, I know we don't have much. I know the challenges kids face every day. These kids are at high risk due to gang exposure and poverty. I created this program to help these kids stay busy and out of trouble.
I'm here for my daughter, Sophia. So she's one of the few girls that is participating in Arts Boxing Club. Since being in this program, Sophia has learned hard work, dedication, and just believing in herself. Art's role as a police officer is great. He serves his community not only in his job but also now outside, and I think it's just a bonus, and I feel safe and I trust him with our kids.
I hold my boxing sessions once a week. I do not have a facility, so I currently hold my sessions at public parks or schools. I provide the kids with boxing gloves and equipment that I've accumulated over the years from my own training. I also provide water for the kids while they are training. I created this program for the kids to keep them busy and out of trouble and to help bridge the gap with law enforcement.
1, 2, 3.